Hello dear friends, today we will get to know New Zealand in 11 facts. I'm starting without wasting time. New Zealand is an island nation in the southwest Pacific Ocean, consisting of two main large islands and numerous small ones. It is located 1,500 kilometers from Australia, and it can be said that from a geographical point of view it is quite isolated due to the fact that it does not have a single country with which it borders, and in general it is in a rather remote corner of the world. There are 16 provinces in the country, 7 of them are in the South Island and 9 in the north, and under New Zealand's sovereignty are also the islands of Niue and the Cook Islands, as well as the sovereign territory of Tokelau. Due to the fact that the country is located in the southern hemisphere, the seasons here run in the reverse order of the northern hemisphere. The warmest months are January and February, and the coldest are June and July. Nowadays, the country is an independent country within the Commonwealth of Nations. Although the King of England is constitutionally the head of state, he does not play an active role in the governance of New Zealand. It is one of the most recently settled territories in the world, with the first people setting foot on the islands only 1,000 years ago. The first inhabitants of New Zealand were the Maori from Polynesia. The first European to discover the islands was Abel Tasman, but the greatest merit for the settlement of Europeans on these lands was Captain Cook. English settlers founded the city of Wellington in 1840, which is today the country's capital, and the name New Zealand was given by Dutch navigators who were inspired by the name of the Zeeland Islands in the Netherlands. The population of the country is approximately 5,200,000 people, with the majority of the population having European roots, and the indigenous people of New Zealand, the Maori, make up 14.5% of the country's population. As I have already told you, the Maori originated from the nearby region of Polynesia, having moved here around the end of the 13th century. They have their own language, culture, religion and customs, and these days, it could be said that they are a bit more backward than the rest of New Zealand society. According to them, they are more uneducated and more closed to the New World, but in general, in the last few decades, more and more individuals of this ethnic group are adapting to modern life. In addition, New Zealanders have the 6th strongest passport in the world, which opens the door to 186 countries around the world. The official languages in the country are English, Maori and New Zealand Sign Language. The largest cities in the country are Auckland, the capital Wellington and Christchurch. The pristine nature that this land possesses is largely due to the fact that it was discovered relatively recently. Today, in order to preserve its beautiful nature, as well as its culture and history, the country has taken 32.5% of its territory under protection. The fact that until 1967, apart from bats and aquatic mammals, there was not a single other mammal in the area is also very interesting. Dogs, cats, livestock and all the mammals that are in the territory even today were brought from other continents. There are countless types of insects here, but only a few of them are poisonous, and there are no snakes in the country. Flightless birds abound, and even the symbol of New Zealand is the kiwi bird. Humans represent only 5% of the living creatures on the islands, and even the sheep on their territory are 5 times more. New Zealand, which is the second most peaceful country in the World Peace Index, and also ranks 9th in the list of the happiest people in the world. The country's currency is called the New Zealand dollar, and in 2023, $1 is equal to 1.62 US dollars. It is one of the most developed economies in the world. The minimum wage is about $22 an hour, and typically lower-paying jobs such as waiters, bartenders, or kitchen assistants are paid that amount. Manufacturing factory workers earn between $3,200 and $4,000 per month, and higher-level occupations such as accountants, IT professionals, lawyers and engineers can earn between $65,000 and $82,000 per year, which is very well paid by the country's standards. Grocery prices in the country are significantly more expensive than in Europe and America, with a liter of milk costing you $3, a kilo of white rice $3.20, a kilo of cheese $14.50, a kilo of chicken $15 and a kilo of beef around $23. Also, some fruits and vegetables can be really horrendously expensive due to the fact that almost all of them are imported from other countries, so if you have to pay $6 to $7 for a kilo of tomatoes or $7 for one piece of cucumber, don't wonder. If we talk about problems in the country, then the biggest problem will be housing. There is a huge shortage of housing in the country due to the fact that most people prefer to live in single-family houses, and land areas are limited. This is one of the biggest problems the country has been struggling with for years. Apart from the fact that you will find it very difficult to find a place to rent, if you do find one at all, it will take a good place in your monthly expenses, since here the rent is paid weekly. In different regions, rental prices range from $200 to $450 per week depending on the area of the home. Singles, as well as students, usually prefer to rent apartments in which several people live in order to split the costs, which significantly contributes to the personal budget. Although crime is generally low, interestingly the country has a high rate of robberies of parts of properties as well as cars. According to statistics made in 2019, every 21 minutes a car is stolen or intentionally damaged. One of the biggest problems in the country that has been noticed quite late is domestic violence. According to the UNICEF report in 2017, it is the 7th country with the highest number of child deaths due to domestic violence. Although children are safe on New Zealand streets and the state is very sensitive to this issue, children can be at risk in their own homes. Today, leads the country in suicides among 15 to 19-year-olds. Levels of sexual violence are also high, with 15% of women having been sexually assaulted at least once in their lifetime. Drug addicts in the country represent 16% of the population, and 1 in 5 people is an alcohol addict. People here love sports, even the percentage of people who do sports before going to work or school is very high, but strangely the country is at the top of obesity. Childhood obesity is also a big problem and the country is second in the list of the most obese children. Due to the many ethnicities that make up the population of New Zealand, there is no national cuisine, with all communities eating different foods, and due to the fact that fast food is much cheaper, a large percentage of people prefer it more and more often. 31% of the population is overweight, and among children the percentage rises to a dangerous 39%, and every 10th child in the country is overweight or on the verge of becoming obese. We can say that New Zealanders are pleasant and friendly people. Due to the multicultural nature of the country, there is almost always a reason for celebration and festivals, and people definitely like to have fun. Otherwise, people here do not like to have their personal space violated. Usually in the evening they don't like to be disturbed even on the phone. Even if a person is sitting alone on a park bench, you must respect their right and not disturb their peace. They dress freely and even when they go out it is not a problem to go out in the clothes they wear at home, and they often go barefoot, which is not a problem considering the clean streets of the country. There are usually no entrance exams to start studying at university, and your grades are the deciding factor for admission. Unlike many other countries, universities here pay attention to both theoretical knowledge and proper training of people to be useful to society in the future. The percentage of graduates in the country is about 40%. New Zealand is becoming an increasingly large tourist attraction, despite the expensive prices of excursions here. The country receives about 4 million tourists every year, which is about 3/4 of its population. One of the most important factors in the world fame that this country has gained is the series of films The Lord of the Rings, which was filmed here. After people realized that the views from the movie were not a visual effect, more and more tour groups started heading to the country. Other interesting places for tourists are the black sand beaches that were formed as a result of volcanism here. The place with the longest name in the world is also in New Zealand and is called Taumata for short. The meaning of this name containing 92 letters is the peak where Taumatea, the man with big knees, the glider, the climber of mountains, the devourer of the earth who roams, plays the flute of his beloved. Well, dear friends, that was our video with 11 facts about New Zealand. If you liked the video, subscribe with the bell so you don't miss our next videos, and don't forget to leave a comment. I'll see you soon.